Hello everyone. I'm Mrs. Rekha Hassan, Assistant Professor of English from Government First Grade College, Kavur, Mangalore. The session is on the novel Nampally Road by Meena Alexander. This novel is prescribed for BBA 4th Sem of Mangalore University. This session is on Introduction to the Author. Nampally Road by Meena Alexander. Meena Alexander, born in 1951, who is an internationally acclaimed poet, scholar, and a prolific writer. Meena Alexander was born into a Syrian Christian family from Kerala, South India. She lived in Allahabad and Kerala until her father worked as a scientist for the Indian government. Then the family was taken to Khartoum, a newly independent Sudan. In 1964, when she was only 13 years of age, Alexander enrolled in Khartoum University, where she studied English and French literature. After graduating with a BA honors from Khartoum University in 1969, she moved to England and began doctoral study at Nottingham University. She earned a PhD degree in English in 1973 at the only age of 22, with a dissertation in romantic literature. She then moved to India and taught at several universities, including the University of Delhi and the University of Hyderabad. During the 5 years she lived in India, published her first 3 books of poetry, namely The Bird's Bright Ring, 1976, I Wrote My Name in 1977, and Without Place in 1978. In 1980, she moved to New York City and became an assistant professor at Fordham University, where she remained until 1987. And then she became an assistant professor in the English department at Hunter College, the City University of New York. In 1992, she was made professor of English and Women's Studies. She was appointed as the Distinguished Professor of English in 1999 and continues to teach in the PhD program at the Graduate Center and the MPF program at Hunter College. Over the years, she has also taught poetry in writing division in the School of the Arts at Columbia University. Since moving to New York, Alexander has been a prolific author, publishing 6 more volumes of poetry, 2 books of literary criticism, 2 books of literary essays, 2 novels, and a memoir. Alexander is known for lyrical writing that deals with migration. About her work, Maxine Hong Kingston's opinion about her is, her voice guides us far away and back home. The reader sees her visions and remembers and is uplifted. Among her best known works are the volumes of poetry Illiterate Heart in 2002, Raw Silk, and Quickly Changing River. Her latest volume of poetry was Atmospheric Embroidery in 2015. She edited a volume of poems in the Everyman series, Indian Love Poems, and published a volume of essays and poems on the themes of migration and memory called The Shock of Arrival, which reflects on the post colonial experience. Her work has been widely anthologized and translated into several languages, including Malayalam, Hindi, Arabic, Italian, Spanish, French, German, and Swedish. She edited a volume of poems in the Everyman series, Indian Love Poems, and published a volume of essays and poems on the themes of migration and memory called The Shock of Arrival. This reflects, as I already told you, on the post colonial experience. She published two novels, that is Nampally Road and Manhattan Music. In Nampally Road, it was a village voice, literary supplement editor's choice, and Manhattan Music, and two academic studies, the poetic self and woman in romanticism. Fortlines, a famous work of hers, was chosen by Publishers Weekly as one of the best books of the year in 1993. Illiterate Heart won the 2002 Pen Open Book Award. Alexander had read at Poetry International and Strog Poetry Evenings, Poetry Africa, Calabash Festival, Harbourfront Festival, Sahitya Academy in India, and other international gatherings. She has received awards from the Guggenheim Foundation, Fulbright Foundation, Rockefeller Foundation, Arts Council England, National Endowment for the Humanities, American Council of Learned Societies, National Council for Research on Women, New York State Council on the Arts, and so on. She has served as an elector American Poets Corner at the Cathedral of St. John the Divine, New York. She was the recipient of 2009 Literary Excellence Award from the South Asian Literary Association. This is an organization allied to the modern languages, and for her contribution to American literature. In 2014, Meena Alexander was named a National Fellow at the Indian Institute of Advanced Study. In 2009, Cambridge Scholars Publishing brought out an anthology of scholarship on her work titled Passage to Manhattan. This passage deals about the critical essays on Meena Alexander. The poems in her new book, Birthplace with Buried Stones, convey the fragmented experience of the traveler for whom home is both nowhere and everywhere. Unfortunately, she passed away on November 21 in 2018. With this, I come to the end of the introduction to the author on Meena Alexander. If you want to have further reading about her works, in order to know something more about her, you can reference these books and other materials. Thank you so much. Have a good day.